Hey there, welcome back to the Duty-Free Rock Star Extravaganza. Over the years I've had a lot of fans ask me where they might be able to find sheet music or guitar tablature, or tabs as they're called, for my music. And sadly, they don't exist, at least none that I've ever officially released into the world. That said, I thought maybe today I would show you guys some of my more, better known riffs, and more specifically the tunings with which I used to arrive at these riffs. And with that, I thought maybe as well we could introduce you guys to some of my more prized guitars from the collection. So lots to cover, a really cool episode, hopefully you guys enjoyed, so let's get to it. Alright, I figured we'd kick it off with the latest addition to the family. This is a beautiful little guitar on loan from the good folks at Gibson. It's a Blues King, and I think they're going to discontinue this model, which this is one of the last of its kind. But I love it because it's got the small body and it just has a really wonderful gain structure on the pickup, all this kind of cool stuff. But basically, for those of you that don't totally know, this is a standard tuning, you know, so it's E, A, D, G, B, E. That's the notes assigned to each of the strings. E, A, D, G, B, E. And this is where you play all your favorite songs. Most of the songs you hear on the radio or in my catalog are largely in this tuning. But this is a capo, okay? And the capo basically helps you change the key of your song in a very simple gesture. You probably see artists all the time use these, and what it does is it just puts the song into a different key. So if I played the same riff, up here, I've been reading all letter. You could get someone with a low voice to sing it, or you could get a girl or a kid or someone with a much higher range to sing it. I've been reading all letter. You know what I'm saying. For me, I've used it before, even just one step up, one half step up. It's freezing, it's February, I'm in New York City, trying to have a taxi cab on second half. It just puts the song into a part of my voice that might be a little more complimentary to the song, or just a little more comfortable to sing in, maybe a little more energy, a little less energy, you know, and then going up you'll hear, I want the sunset, well you watch it rise, flame-colored teardrops burn my eyes. That sounds a little different than I want the sunset. You get the picture. You can even slide it all the way up to here, all the way up there. Pull me close, you push me away, depending on the time of day. I take it out on this here 6-string every night. It's like flipping a coin to see who wins as the jealousy and the fear begins. It just, I don't know, it just puts you in another mindset, a different time and place. It just inspires different melodies than if you're playing it down in the standard. I don't know. Make sense? The capo. Now this guitar is this is one of my Martin guitars, and it is the first Martin that I ever bought myself, and it's you know, one of their less expensive models, but it's been one of my favorite guitars over the years. It's just got a great growl to it. It's got a really nice neck that's nice and shiny because I've rubbed the life out of it. It just inspired a lot of songs. Quick funny story about this guitar is when I was using it heavily, I did a couple shows in LA where there were various artists on the bill, and sometimes people, if they're only playing a couple songs, they won't even show up with a guitar, they'll just borrow someone else's. And one time, no lie, Katy Perry borrowed my guitar. She was in quite a state. She was enjoying herself immensely at this particular event, and wasn't terribly careful with how she handled the guitar and what she did with it when she was done. And lo and behold, if I didn't get a crack in my guitar, and I think I'd be a little more upset had it not been put there by the one and only Katy Perry. So, true story. People always want to hear certain songs that were actually written in these tunings, and they take a little while to get to, unless I have a separate guitar dedicated to that tuning. For example, Honestly For You is a song I loved playing for a while, but I almost have to bring a separate guitar, because once you're tuning on stage, a lot of times you're stretching the strings, you're tightening them, loosening them, and eventually you're going to break strings. So I would break a lot of strings, and it's a pain in the ass to break strings and have to switch them right there on the stage. But as well, getting into the tunings and out of the tunings took a while, so I would have to talk a lot, and I wouldn't get to play as many songs because I'd be up there yapping away, just trying to get from one tuning to the next. So, but this is a perfect example. So Honestly For You, if the guitar was in standard tuning, to get to Honestly For You, I would have to find a C and lower the top string to C. Lower that one to G. D would stay the same. G would go down to F. B would go to B flat. And the other E would go all the way down to C. So again, that's C, G, D, F, B flat, C. Don't throw the makeup for me. There ain't a single party I wouldn't want to see. You see, makeup only makes me feel what's lacking on the inside, and you ain't lacking it. It's the same chord. This beautiful guitar, her name is Caroline. She is a gift, was a gift from some dear friends of mine, Ron and Linda Probst, from, of all places, North Carolina. She is a Martin D18, the GE series, which is called the Golden Era series. So she's got these old fancy pegs, a much wider neck, which I didn't understand how that made it easier to play, but now that I have fallen in love with her, I certainly understand. I thought maybe I would show you guys the open G tuning, which is something that you'll hear a lot of in a lot of singer-songwriter stuff, a lot of classic rock. A lot of guys in classic rock were hip to open G. In particular, Keith Richards was a big fan of open G. So D, G, D, G, B, D. Open G was what I used for a Bottle of Rain. If I brought you a bottle of rain, would you spill it there on your chin? Or Songbird. packed up this here old suitcase, headed for the door. Couldn't let it get up under my skin. Not too unfamiliar, the song that I co-wrote with Melissa Polliner and had Sarah Bareilles sing with me on Rendezvous with the Angels, Back to Me, was written also in open G and recorded on this guitar. Thumper 1. This is the most prized guitar in my collection. This was my father's guitar that he bought brand new back in '74, I think, and he traded in a pedal steel, a banjo, and about $1,200 for it, which I can't imagine how much it was worth then, because now it's a bit priceless, if you ask me. It's been banged up and bruised far too many times for me to recall, and so I decided it was best that I keep it at home, because the airlines, they don't like your guitars. They don't like your guitars, period. But this was a guitar that I had when I fell in love with the DADGAD tuning. And DADGAD simply is an acronym for the tuning. D, A, D, G, A, D. Now DADGAD was the tuning that I used quite heavily on my Shotgun record, including the title cut, which was Shotgun. I think it was in this key. Again, our trusty capo. No use in sleeping, morning's just as sad. Had about all I can bear. September turnpike painted, orange, red, and rusty gold. Good old blow everywhere. Another example would be Honestly For You, also off the Shotgun record, but a riff that sounds a bit more complicated than it really is, simply because the tuning makes it so. It's really, I'm just playing. It's all in the notes. Specifically, one that was a lot of fun on this guitar was Lost Angelino, because I came up with a bunch of different phrases, a bunch of different riffs to play within the song, and then was able to include them all in on the recording. So you have that's just me chasing a single string up and down the fretboard, really, and then woke up and I had to write you, had a dream and you were there. Remember how to play it. So far we've been through standard tuning with the use of the capo, we've been through open G and DADGAD. These are all fairly standard and common amongst people and guitar players who like to kind of toy with their tunings. But there was a time there when I kind of got carried away with it, and I took some of Joni Mitchell's advice and just sat back one day with my guitar and tuned it to my surroundings. Sounds a little far out, but it's really what I did. It was in the backyard, and I tuned the guitar to the moment. And the moment was pretty abstract at the time, but I came up with this. Which sounds pretty bizarre. But this is the tuning I used to write a song that has sort of fallen by the wayside, if for no other reason than because I simply could never remember the tuning. Maybe that's the problem with coming up with tunings in altered states. But this is the tuning I used to write the song Kind. It is B, B, the octave, E flat, F sharp, B, E. You can look me in the eye and see the invitation I've addressed to you. And gladly I would share with you the beauty of my vivid point of view. It just takes so long to recall. That's it, you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in, as always, to the Duty-Free Rock Star Extravaganza. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Tell your friends and family to become patrons if they haven't already. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this episode and learned a thing or two about me and my crazy tunings. But that's it. We'll see you guys next time.